Welcome to the new tutorial. Here we are going to learn different types of learning modules in machine learning. That is important for the second module. There are different types of learning types, and I will explain it to you, like the basic terminology which will be using throughout the different types of learning model. So, in different types of learning model, what is going to change is the formula and maybe addition of few steps, but the terminologies and the components which we'll be using are more or less going to remain the same. So with this question I will explain you the different components, and then I'm in this particular video we will learn about the Perceptron learning model. like so I will start. I will first explain you the question which will be given to you. So what the question which will be given to you would be, like, you have to use the Perceptron training rule to train the network, and then set of the input training would be given to you. So here we have been given the three set which will be given to us: x1, x2 and x3. So they are given in the form of a matrices. So we will be given this. So that many times like we have to repeat the step, like three set are given, so we have to repeat the step three times. Then the other thing is the important thing which will be important terminology is the weights. Like initially the weight would be given to us, it is 1, -1, 0.5. And then also during all the learning models the learning constant will be given to us, and then the desired response will be given to us, like d1, d2, d3. So from this we have learned is we will be given x1, x2, x3. Weight will be given to us, and also the learning constant will be given to us, and then d1, d2 and d3. And the question is asked us calculate the weights after one complete cycle. So we are going to see how to solve this problem. With this basic component explanation we will move ahead. So here we are going to understand for all the learning rules there are going to be learning rules. We have to just keep the record of it, like what are the learning rules for different learning models, and once we know that, then we can solve the numerical quite easily. The steps are going to remain more or less same throughout all the learning models. So just concentrate in this one particular video, and then in other videos you have to just note down the formula. Once you do that, just apply the formula, steps are going to remain the same. So please concentrate on this video a lot, because I'm going to explain you the crucial steps where the mistakes could happen. So just be focused and see this video. Now we move to learning rule. Like whichever learning algorithm which will be given to us, we have to see the learning rule of it. So first terminology in the learning would be net of I. In every learning rule we have to find the net of I. So what is this what is the formula for net of I? So I am focusing a bit. Formula is quite simple. Initial weights are given to us. What we have to do is we have to take the transpose of it. As you can see in the formula, it is w of I the raised to t. That t stands for the transpose, that the weight vector which will be given to us. We have to take the transpose of it, and then we have to multiply with the x vector which will be given to us. So initial, and then the second is o of I. This is also very important terminology for all the learning rules. O of I, sometime it would be sine of net of I, sometime would be f of net of I. We will understand the learning model, but in perceptron learning rule, O of I is going to be sine of net of I. Sine of net of I means if net of I, we are first going to calculate the net of I, and once we are going to get the net of I, what we will see is what is the sine of the net of I. That, for example, if you are getting net of I as 2.5, as in the ahead example we are getting it. So what we will do is sine of net of I is the sine of the number which we have got. So here we have get 2.5, that is plus 2.5. So the O of I for this particular step would then become plus 1. Similarly, if we are getting the O of I as net of I as minus 2.5, so then the O of I would then become minus 1. So in this way O of I is sine of net of I. Then comes the delta wi. What we have to do is delta wi in a formula is c, that the c constant which was given to you previously in the question. It is 0.1. It is 0.1. What we have to do is we have to keep the 0.1 outside the bracket. Then what in the bracket what we have to do is d minus o of I. D also was given, like there were three side x1, x2, x3, so there was d1, d2, d3. As you can see, d1 is -1, d2 is -1, d3 is 1. This will be given to you in the question itself. So for the first step we are going to use the d1, and for the second step we are going to use the d2, and then for the third step we will be using the d3 d. So this d is going to change as per the I. So it is d minus O of I, the O of I which will be getting in that step, d minus O of I into C. So after multiplication all of this, we will be getting up one constant. Then what we have to do is simply, for getting delta Wi, we have to just multiply it with the x matrix. So now step 1, we'll move like how we are going to perform the step 1. Normal 3-step Perceptron learning rule consists of 3 steps. First, find the net of I. Second, find O of I, that is the sign of net of I. Then third step, find delta W of I, that is C into D minus O of I into X. That's it, just 3 simple steps. First thing, for the first step what we have to take X is, it is X1. D is going to be D1. D1 is -1. So in this case, D would be, for our D would be -1. X would be X1, that is 1 minus 2, 0, and then -1. Then the next step comes is compute net I. What is the formula for net of I? It is Wi transpose into X. So as we have the W weight, I'm just zooming in. What you have to do is you have to just take the transpose of it. After taking the transpose of it, we will be multiplying it with x1. So this is the basic matrix multiplication which you all guys knows. Then what we do is, after doing this, after doing the calculation, the answer we will get is 2.5. Then next step, simple step, find O of I. What is O of I? It is sine of net of I. So here we are getting plus 2.5. So the sine is going to be +1. So O of I is +1. Done. We are having net of, we have found O of I. But then the next step is we have to find a delta Wi. So it's a simple step. We have the C, the constant is 0.1. Write it down. We have D, that is D1, that is -1. Write it down. We have O of I, that is, just substitute the values in this formula, D minus O of I. So what I will do is 0.1 into -1 into -1, -1, -1, -2, -2 into 0.2, that is -0.2. And what we have to do is multiply each element of X with -0.2. 1 into -0.2, -0.2, -2 into 0.2, 0.4. Similar way, 0 into -0.2, क्या हो गया? 0 only. And then 0.2 into -0.2 into -1, that is 0.2. We have found this delta W. And why we will be finding this delta W? The reason which we will be finding this delta W is, for the step 2, we have to find a new W, the W which we will be getting in this particular step. We are going to use this W in the next step. So what are we going to do is, we are going, as we have found this W1, delta W1 we have found it. So now we will find W2. What is the formula for W2 is W1 plus delta W1. W1 is W1, that is, this was given to you initially, it is called as W1. Then we are going to add delta W1, that is a simple matrix addition, and then we are going to find a W2. Okay, with this step we have found a W2. Then what we will be using it, this W2 which will be used as the initial W in the second step. So what is the second step? Second training pair, like again we have to do second training pair. It is again simple, a very simple step. Like this is just a repetition of the last step. What is going to change is, instead, in place of X we will be having X2 because it is step number 2. In place of D we will be having D2. And then what we will do is, we are going to compute the net 2. What is the formula for net 2? It is W2 transpose. This is the crucial step, W2. We don't have to take the initial W. What we have to take the W which we will find from the last step. That is W2. We have found it. We are going to multiply it with X, and the simple matrix multiplication we have got net 2 is -1.0. So again comes a crucial step, O of I. What is O of I? It is sine of net of I. Sine. What is sine? What is the sine? It is -1. So we have found this O2. Then we have G2. We have O2. We have C. So what happened over here is, D minus O2, it is 0. So delta W2 has become 0. So now in next step what we will be doing is, as we have got the delta W2 as 0, so what is going to the formula of W3? W3 formula is W2 plus delta W. But since in this case we are getting delta W2 as 0, so that W3 would just be W2 equal to W2. This is, we have got it by calculation. So that is not some kind of like, because of some kind of coincidence we are going to get it like this. Not, it is always going to remain the same. So you have to solve this step 2. Then we move to the step 3, that is taking the third training pair. In this, it's just the same step. What we have to do is set x equal to x3, and then d equal to d3. Like d3 we are having that value, d3 is d1, and then x3 we have taken it, then net 3 we have to find. What is net 3? W3 transpose into x. We have found it. Then we have to find O of I. What is O of I? It is sine of net of I. The sign is over here is -1. We have found O3, we have T3, we have C, and what we have is x. So just calculate delta W3. What are W3 is C into D minus O of I into x. This multiplication will give us a constant. We have to multiply each element of the matrix with that constant, and once we have found this, then we have to go to the last step. Once we have found this delta W3, then for the last step we have to calculate W4. W4 is W3 plus delta W3. W3 we have it, and then delta W3 we have found with this step. Just do the simple matrix addition, and we have found a W4, and sum is done. Wasn't that simple? It's quite easy. Just remember 3 steps. I'm repeating it. First, we have to find net of I. What is the formula for net of I? It is W transpose to x. Second step, find O of I. What is O of I? Sine of net of I. Third step, what is the third step? Think. Are you getting it? Third step is simple. Apply the formula of perceptron learning, finding W, delta W. What is the formula? C into D minus O of I into x. With this, you have to so we have to find this W4, we have found it, and here we have to stop, and just we have to follow this simple step. Perceptron learning is done. Thank you, and wait for the new I'm uploading new videos as well. Thank you.